Hey everybody, I got a question for you. What do you think of when I say Australia? Koala bears, kangaroos, island nation, the Sydney Opera House, death metal? No? You don't think of death metal when I say Australia? Well, perhaps by the end of this video you will. This week's review is the album Hate by Thy Art Is Murder. This is their first internationally released album. For those of you that don't know who that is, Thy Art Is Murder is a Australian deathcore or death metal band, depending on how you want to categorize them. They sound similar to Suicide Silence or Lorna Shore or someone similar to that, maybe Job for a Cowboy. Let me go into my personal history with this band. I was never, like, what is that thing? What would you call that thing? A giant three-headed Cthulhu turd? That's kind of what it looks like. But anyway, we'll get to the artwork later. My personal experience with this band is I was never really impressed with their body of work, and I decided that for the sake of this show, I would look into them. So I picked up their body of work, and over the next couple weeks, we're going to be talking about a lot of Thy Art Is Murder. This is their first internationally released album. This is the one that I thought was their first album. Then I did some research. Turns out they had one they released beforehand through Australia. It's not available physically. That's why I'm not doing it on this show, because I like, hard copies of stuff. Then I can go like that to the camera with it. What do I think of this musically? It's very standard deathcore, but one thing these guys do really well that actually surprised me, they have a lot of good groove to their body of work. It's very rhythmic, and some of the rhythms remind me of like mid-period Sepultura, like Chaos AD era Sepultura, to me personally, and I really like that. I think they have a lot of good rhythmic work. The riffs are okay on the guitar work. The vocals are like really deep and guttural, and it's nice. It's well executed, but very, very by the book deathcore, which is kind of the inverse of the most recent Suicide Silence album. If you watch my review on that, I wasn't all that pleased with that album. I didn't think it was absolutely atrocious like a lot of people did, but I don't see it as a deathcore album. If you're going to do something that is not deathcore, at least don't call it deathcore. Like I said, the things I don't like, the lyrics to this are very evil and anti-religion, and it's not my cup of tea personally, but if you're that kind of person, I mean, good. You might not have a problem with it. If you can get past that and you just like really thick, heavy breakdowns and half-decent rhythms and pretty decent guitar riffs, then this might be up your alley. Like I said earlier, the album art is either really cool or really stupid. I can't decide yet. I don't know what that thing is. It looks like a Cthulhu turd. I don't know if I like it or not. Basically, what do I have to say as my final verdict? If you're into deathcore already, you probably already like these guys. If you're not into heavy music, this definitely is not for you. This album is way heavier than anything I've really reviewed before, with maybe the exception of Black Dahlia Murder. Actually, I do a lot of death metal on this channel, so yeah. If you're not into heavy music, I don't recommend this for you. If you're looking for new deathcore or death metal, and you haven't heard these guys, give them a chance. They're nothing new, though. Keep that in mind. But their stuff is good, and it's got some pretty decent rhythms to it. And the drumming and bass work and guitar is decent. It's not the best I've ever heard, but it works. That's really all I have to say, guys. Thank you for being patient for this week's review, and I will see you next week with a review on Holy War also by Thy Art Is Murder. Have a great night, everyone.